DeWanna Bonner, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split ya. What's it? See ya, wouldn't want to be ya.
Well, I don't want to come off the bench is not a personal issue. Well, I don't like my role.
Bonner, more like Donna Bounce, because that's exactly what happened. Instead of stepping up, she stepped out. What we saw wasn't just disappointing. It was a total collapse of leadership from someone expected to be a steady veteran presence. The Indiana Fever were counting on her to help usher in a new era, but the moment adversity hit, she was gone. After a rocky start and some time on the bench, instead of fighting through, she chose to walk away. That's not what fans expect from a pro. If you believe teams deserve players who stay committed, drop a goodbye bounce in the comments.
Veteran DeWanna Bonner, the team announced. Indiana looked at trade possibilities for the six-time All-Star who had not played since June 10th for what the team called, quote, personal reasons. Well, the personal reasons were, from what I could tell, playing time is what I...
Let's be real. Bonner likely expected a smooth ride with the Fever. Maybe she thought she'd coast through the season, benefit from the Caitlin Clark spotlight, and collect another paycheck with minimal effort. But what she walked into was a team running full throttle, high energy, high expectations, and led by one of the most electrifying players in the game. In this environment, nothing is handed out. Minutes are earned, and when the pressure's on, there's no room for passengers, only competitors.
DeWanna Bonner out with the old. Aaron McDonald, welcome back in with the new. Breaking. The Fever are waiving DeWanna Bonner, league sources told the Indy Star, then re-signing Ari McDonald. Bonner requested a trade after feeling she couldn't find a role on the team after getting benched, along with bevy of other reasons as we covered yesterday. But Indiana could not find a suitable trade.
When Bonner signed that deal back in February, she probably envisioned a relaxed season, playing the veteran sidekick to the Caitlin Clark phenomenon. But what she stepped into was something entirely different. This Indiana squad had transformed. With Clark at the helm, they're no longer just another WNBA team. They're the main attraction. Every game is a spectacle, every possession dissected, every move under the microscope. Bonner may have expected to ease into the spotlight, but the reality was far more intense, and it quickly became clear she wasn't prepared for that level of heat.
Bonner signs a free agent contract with the Indiana Fever, and after a handful of games, wants a Fever exit, apparently. And that is a strange situation, right? Because she was embraced. She had her achievement at the beginning of the season, moving up the scoring ranks. They were referring to her as Mama Bear in training camp, and now all of a sudden that has fallen apart. She was out of the starting lineup, hadn't really produced that much, particularly on the offensive end. And this, looks poor on the franchise when it comes to the free agent moves in retrospect, the team that they put together in the offseason. I don't think it reflects well on DeWanna Bonner, whose absence was for quote-unquote personal reasons, but now it seems like she was just upset with the team and the situation overall, and it adds more drama to what has been a drama-filled season for Caitlin Clark.
From the opening tip, it was clear something was off. In her first 3 games, Bonner averaged just 2.6 points, while shooting a rough 2 of 12 from the field. That's not the impact you expect from a seasoned vet. It was more like a shadow on the court. So, Coach Stephanie White made the logical move. She adjusted. Bonner hit the bench, and those valuable minutes went to Lexie Hull, a player bringing energy, effort, and a hunger to prove herself every possession.
It's had significantly dropped from last year. Well, in turn, if her minutes drop, a lot of her production numbers that she can see and the rest of the league can see also dropped with it. Look, she's just like Natasha Howard. She looks old on the court. All right, not trying to be this is not ageism. She looks like an older athlete. All right, she looks slower on the court, and the team has been lacking energy. It's been a serious problem. Seriously, long overdue. Let her go to the place where she feels she would be the best.
And how did Bonner handle the benching? Gracefully and professionally. Not exactly. Rather than staying to compete and earn her spot back, she reportedly requested a trade. The public explanation: it wasn't the right fit. But let's be honest. This looked more like a reaction to no longer being the focal point. Bonner didn't just exit the starting lineup. She stepped away from the team entirely, missing 5 straight games due to personal reasons. Maybe it wasn't a family emergency or off-court issue. Maybe it was pride. With Clark lighting up arenas and reshaping the league, the spotlight had shifted. And for some, that's a hard adjustment to make.
She couldn't fit with the rotations of the team. She's upset that Lexie Hull took her spot. That's the truth. Little blonde girl from next door took her spot. That's what it was. Well, Lexie Hull is a good basketball player. I think she earned that spot, in my opinion, and she's shooting very well from the 3. She's an excellent 3-point shooter this season. She's a sniper this season. And she hustles. She gets rebounds. She gets steals. She puts her heart out every single game.
This goes beyond stats or minutes. It's about leadership. Bonner was brought in to be the steady veteran presence, the one who could guide a young roster through the whirlwind of sudden stardom. But when the spotlight intensified, she didn't rise to the moment, she disappeared. It wasn't just the pressure. It was the realization that the story had already been written around someone else. Caitlin Clark had captured the headlines, the fan base, and the momentum. Bonner, once steady in the background of strong teams, suddenly found herself in the center of a movement, and she didn't adapt. Instead of embracing the moment, it felt like she rejected it. That's not just about playing time. That's about presence. And when it mattered, hers was missing.
So the truth is, DeWanna Bonner was butthurt. That's what it comes down to. She was butthurt. Her ego was bruised, and she wanted to cry and leave. This is a shame. See, if you're truly a team player, you accept that Lexie Hull's better than you. You accept being a role player and contribute of the way you can. And why do you even care at this point? You're 37 years old. You're making a lot of money for a WNBA player. Why not just ride it out? I don't understand that. You know what it was? She missed her boo thing in Phoenix, and she just want to wiggle her way out so she can go to Phoenix. That's all it was.
But let's take a step back. Bonner's reaction might just be a symptom of a larger shift. The real tension lies with parts of the WNBA's old guard, veterans who, after years of flying under the radar, are now facing a league transformed almost overnight. For years, many of them played in front of modest crowds with minimal media attention. Then Caitlin Clark arrived, and everything changed. She didn't just raise the bar, she redefined it. Visibility, hype, and mainstream attention exploded. And instead of embracing that momentum, some seasoned players seemed unsettled. Not because they didn't earn their place, but because the spotlight had moved quickly and dramatically. Bonner's struggle wasn't just about minutes. It symbolized a moment where the league's past clashed with its fast-rising future. For some, that spotlight felt like validation. For others, it felt like a challenge they weren't prepared for.
Long story short, DB thought her role was going to be one thing. She came in playing terrible, got benched, and was upset about it. Long story short, Shorty got her record and dipped. That's low-key crazy, y'all. Shorty dipped from the team for personal reasons for 5-6 games and then said she has no intentions on coming back? Because you sucked this year? She really had to be a double agent, dog. There's no way. She a career 29% three-point shooter, but she was shooting 30-footers with us. No bullshit. Like, it's no way. She was missing layups. She was getting blown by, like...
Anybody with any intuition could sort of see that this was getting odd. The amount of time that she had missed with no explanation as to why, no timeline on her return, not making the road trip, all of these things, the lack of information and the basic mystery would be enough to get anybody's spidey sense tingling about this situation. But on top of that, I'll tell you this much. I heard that it was more basketball related than anything.
And there's been so much speculation around her absence, but the whole thing was just kind of bizarre, and a lot of Fever fans were speculating that we're not going to see her back. And just today, it was announced that she has no intentions on returning to the Indiana Fever, and her preferred destinations are either Atlanta or the Phoenix Mercury. It's also been reported that the main reason that she wanted to leave is because things felt off from the beginning, and she thought that she would be a starter. But if you guys remember, DB was starting in the beginning of the season, and she honestly just wasn't playing her best, so Lexie Hull moved into that starting position.
Bonner knew damn well she didn't want to come to Indiana. She knew she didn't want to be there. She knew she didn't want to be there. I think the fix was in. The Phoenix Mercury didn't have the bread to pay her. She said, I'm going to get the bag elsewhere, and then I'm going to force my way out to where within the first half of the season before All-Star, Alyssa Thomas, I'm going to be on your team. I think the fix has been in. I think the Phoenix Mercury knew this was going to happen. I think they knew this was going to happen. I think she played bad on purpose. She plummeted her stock to the point where it's not like we could trade her. It's official. It is official, yo.
McDonald back. That's good business. Glad she's back. I knew she was waiting after all those hardship contracts were being signed by different players on different teams. I was like, man, look, Ari not on a team yet. She's coming anyway. It was pretty evident that Bonner did not want to be a part of this team. The fans seemed to take her in, but that wasn't enough. The fact Bonner had zero trade value is telling too. Ari McDonald was so impressive in her first stint in Indiana. She'll be a great fit. Now, I do feel like maybe they couldn't find a way to trade Bonner. Like I stated, the two teams she wanted to go to, I didn't see any use for her being there, man. Like, I'm not being disrespectful. There was just no use for her there. And she still wasn't going to start.